A pleasant day to everyone. Welcome to Everyday with G. This is G and nice to see you all again. Have you ever been to Asian countries? In this episode, I will not only teach you how to speak in Hokkien, but give you some information of each country. So if you're interested, just keep on watching. And please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you! Episode 4: Asian countries. Asia is the largest continent in the world, covering approximately 30% of the Earth's land area. It is also the world's most populous continent. What is Asia in Hokkien? Asia. Aju. Here are the Asian countries. The first is the Philippines. Philippines is known for having an abundance of beautiful beaches and delicious fruit. It is one of the largest archipelagos in the world. One of the famous tourist spots in the Philippines is Boracay. Boracay is the very popular beach holiday destination of the people. These are some of the famous foods in the Philippines. How do you say Philippines in Hokkien? Philippines. Philippine. Next is China. China is one of the world's oldest civilizations. It is officially the People's Republic of China. One of the famous tourist spots of China is the Great Wall of China. The Great Wall of China is the world's longest wall and the largest collection of 2,000-year-old life-size figurines. The Terracotta Army in Xi'an and the world's largest ancient palace, the Forbidden City. And these are some of the famous foods in China. What is China in Hokkien? China. Tiongkok. Third is Taiwan. Taiwan has also been called Formosa, a Portuguese name which means beautiful in Portuguese. One of the famous tourist spots in Taiwan is Taipei 101, the one-time tallest building in the world. And these are some of the famous foods in Taiwan. So, how do you say Taiwan in Hokkien? Taiwan. Taiwan. Fourth is Hong Kong. Hong Kong is known the world over as a glamorous city and top choice for luxury shopping. Hong means fragrant in Chinese, while Kong means harbor. There you have it, a fragrant harbor. One of the famous tourist spots in Hong Kong is Victoria Peak, also known as the Peak. Evening is a great time to visit when you can see the spectacular skyline lit against the night sky. These are some of the famous foods in Hong Kong. What is Hong Kong in Hokkien? Hong Kong. Hyonggang. Fifth is Japan. Japan is famous for their amazing history. The island nation is a fascinating place as old and new collide wherever you go. Tokyo and Yokohama are full of skyscrapers, while Kyoto and Nara boast traditional palaces and age-old temples. One of the famous tourist spots in Japan is Mount Fuji. These are some of the famous foods in Japan. What is Japan in Hokkien? Japan. Dipun. Dipun. Next is Singapore. Singapore is known for its clean streets and its modern and tall buildings. Singapura derived from the Malay words singa for lion and pura for city. So now you know why Singapore is called the Lion City, because lion was considered a sign of good fortune. One of the famous tourist spots in Singapore is the Merlion. It is a mystical creature with the head of a lion and the body of a mermaid, and is one of the symbols of Singapore. These are some of the famous foods in Singapore. What is Singapore in Hokkien? Singapore. 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 7 is South Korea. South Korea shares one of the world's most heavily militarized borders with North Korea. It's equally known for its green, hilly countryside dotted with cherry trees and centuries-old Buddhist temples, and high-tech cities such as the Seoul, the capital. One of the famous tourist spots in South Korea is the Seoul Tower. The tower's been featured in K-dramas My Love from the Star and Legend of the Blue Sea. And these are some of the famous foods in South Korea. What is South Korea in Hokkien? South Korea. Hankook. Hankook. Next is Vietnam. Vietnam is a Southeast Asian country known for its beaches, rivers, Buddhist pagodas, and bustling cities. Halong Bay is one of the world's most spellbinding sea views. There are plenty of caves in the bay. One of the famous tourist spots in Vietnam is the Golden Bridge. It is a 150-meter-long pedestrian bridge in the Bana Hills Resort near Da Nang, Vietnam. It is designed to connect the cable car station with the gardens and to provide a scenic overlook and tourist attraction. These are some of the famous foods in Vietnam. What is Vietnam in Hokkien? Vietnam. Wat Lam. Wat Lam. Next is India. India is one of the world's richest and oldest civilizations. It is a land of rich cultural heritage and diverse geographic beauty. One of the famous tourist spots in India is Taj Mahal. It is the world's most beautiful monument. It reigns supreme in the list of famous tourist places in India. These are some of the famous foods in India. What is India in Hokkien? India. Into. Into. Next is Indonesia. Indonesia has 5 big islands. Its famous island is Bali. It is famous for its economy and it's the largest economy in the Southeast Asia. One of the famous tourist spots in Indonesia is Bali. Anyone who travels to Bali is going to have a warm sun and blue water on their mind. These are some of the famous foods in Indonesia. What is Indonesia in Hokkien? Indonesia. Ini. Next is Malaysia. Malaysia is known for its beaches, rainforests, and mix of Malay, Chinese, Indian, and European cultural influences. One of the famous tourist spots in Malaysia is the Petronas Twin Towers in Kuala Lumpur. It is the tallest twin towers in the world. These are the famous foods in Malaysia. How do you say Malaysia in Hokkien? Malaysia. 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 Next is Thailand. Thailand is popular for its magnificent beaches, glittering temples, and spicy foods. It is often called the Land of Smiles. One of the famous tourist spots in Thailand is the Khao Yai National Park. It is established in 1962 as Thailand's first national park. It is the third largest national park in Thailand. These are some of the famous foods in Thailand. What is Thailand in Hokkien? Thailand. Thai Kok. Thai Kok. Next is Mongolia. Mongolia is a nation bordered by China and Russia. It is known for vast, rugged expanses and nomadic culture. One of the famous tourist spots in Mongolia is the Gorkhay Tarel National Park. It is a wild national park with hot springs. Here are some of the famous foods in Mongolia. What is Mongolia in Hokkien? Mongolia. Mongol. Mongol. Next is North Korea. It is a country constituting the northern part of the Korean peninsula. It is famous for its mass games. One of the famous tourist spots in North Korea is the Kim Il-sung Square. It is a large city square in the central district of Pyongyang, North Korea, and is named after the country's founding leader, Kim Il-sung. And these are some of the famous foods in North Korea. What is North Korea in Hokkien? North Korea. Tiao Sien. Tiao Sien. The last is Myanmar, which is formerly Burma. The country itself is a great miner of precious stones. Myanmar is a direct pronunciation in English of the country's official Burmese name Myanmar, meaning fast and strong people. One of the famous tourist spots of Myanmar is Bagan. Bagan is a landscape filled with thousands of pagodas and temples that are extremely scenic at sunrise and sunsets. And these are some of the famous foods in Myanmar. How do you say Myanmar in Hokkien? Myanmar. Bien Tien. Bien Tien. So, there you go, the 15 Asian countries. Hope you learned something from this episode. And before we end, our message for the day is Hebrews 11:1. Faith is being sure of what we hope for and certain of what we do not see. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you all again on my next episode. Please comment and don't forget to subscribe. Bye!